do sound check first.
It's saying you are live. Let's see what the lag is. 10. No lag for you there. Mine's just gone live here now. Audio okay?
Yeah,
Yep. And there we go. Good evening, people. How are we? Jenny, good evening, sweetheart. Well, it's Wednesday. Oh, hello. Bit of a yawn there. I'm boring you already.
Yeah, I want to go to bed. You coming?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm off, people. Sorry. Well, yeah, it's a bit of a hectic week this week. Hospitals and getting the eyes checked and but yeah, I got a new pair of glasses on the way. They'll be ready for me next week. 10 watching, only one in the chat. Moo, good evening.
I've got 14 watching.
Yeah, I got 14 now. But yeah, it's all been going off this week, isn't it? Everywhere. Over everything. I mean, obviously, you got a few nasty ones going on out there. The stabbing of the soldier in Essex. And they're still not releasing too many details over that. Which points to one thing. They're claiming, obviously, mental health issues. Well, was it? We don't know, and I don't think we'll ever know. Marine Shack, good evening. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever know what's going on there. But, you know, was he an illegal? Did he come over from the channel? We don't know. You know, he's got a motorbike. He was a person of colour, I believe, from the picture I've seen anyway, if that is him. So maybe it was just mental health, or somebody maybe has been radicalised. They don't give enough information out on these things, basically. But I think we're going to see a lot more of it with stamping Starmer's idea of what immigration should be. I think we're going to see a lot more. Lost Souls, hello, sweetie. I didn't expect you to be in after what you've been up to today, to be honest. I see that it all went well so far for you. But yeah, basically it's going to be a free-for-all, isn't it? They've got no plans to get rid of them. Only keep bringing them in.
Do you want to just say, because everybody knows Holly's procedure at the QE was today and it all went well?
Yep. Got nothing else. Stuck in hospital bed. Yeah, Holly's been at the hospital today to have a procedure. Angiogram, I think it was.
Yes.
Apparently it all went well, as far as I know, Holly. I think that's what you said. So, yeah, just take your time to recover, sweetheart. Like I said, I wasn't expecting you in here tonight. But welcome anyway. Stuart, good evening, mate. Yes, Jenny, they haven't started to close down a lot of the mosques. What they've done is they're picking the ones that where a lot of the radicalized ones go, and raiding some of those. Matt, good evening. Yeah, the glue recovering seat on my 750. The old Suzuki Cataway. And the 751. How do you get your fingers covered in bloody glue that they weren't glued on?
You who?
I'm into type left-handed. But yeah, there was another stabbing this week as well. Apparently, a copper visiting Durham prison got shanked while he was there. But we'll give that the coverage that it needs. Moving on. That was a bit nasty, wasn't it? But there again, tough shit. You know, that's how much they usually give the coverage from anybody on the street. So rare that get it. I'm surprised they covered that one with the soldier on mainstream media, considering there's dozens of stabbings on the street every day that don't get reported. There you go. But yeah, we got Labour seem to be doing a lot of weird things. They've already said that they're going to shut down the barge down there on the south coast that's been housing the paddlers, but not until January when the contract runs out. So where are they going to put the ones from there when they shut that down? Not that it's been used a lot anyway. It's been a great white elephant again. Yeah, Kipper Sniffer, good evening. Yeah, exactly. Why not open it for the homeless? They're trying to empty the camps. But the problem is they're also emptying a lot of hotels. So where are all these going? Are they just fast tracking them, like they said, giving them their paperwork and pissing them off? Go out into public, find yourself somewhere to live. We'll pay for it because the properties ain't there. There is nowhere to put these people. When even our own people can't find anywhere. They're not going to build enough homes. They won't be able to build enough homes because the infrastructure won't be there. They haven't got enough people to build them. So they'll probably get the immigrants building them themselves, and all you're going to get is substandard buildings. Cheap labour isn't that good. Yeah, a lot of the new ones are, Kipper. A lot of the new ones are being filled with immigrants. It's like they don't give a fuck about us. They're even advertising to try and get council tenants and that out of council properties and put the immigrants in them. Hi, Gary. Yeah, I'll slot again, mate. Yeah, I mean, who's going to take them in, Jen? I certainly wouldn't. Not a fucking chance. And you can guarantee none of them will. But there again, they've said they haven't got the money for this, that, and the other. They haven't got the money to pay for the doctors. They don't know where they're going to get the money to sort out everything that needs an injection of money at the moment. Yet they'll quite happily turn round and give another 43 million a year to the fucking royal family. What's that all about? One of the richest families in the country, and they're going to give them another 40 plus million? I mean, they just ordered 2 new fucking helicopters. What's all that about? They can all fucking drive. Why don't they drive where they got to go, like every fucker else? Some of the big houses and the palaces they've got and the fucking castles, they're going to house the immigrants in them? Yeah. Are they fuck? They just make themselves look dicks. Yeah, more cash going to the Ukraine, Kipper. Fucking Starmer. That's another thing that pisses me off. That scrounging fucking Zelensky. He's got all them millions and millions that he's been sent. And the scruffy bastard can't even put a suit on when he visits anywhere. He's like the scruffiest beggar in the fucking lot of them. I mean, he needs cutting off. He really does. Yeah, send the immigrants to Ukraine to fight for the Ukraine. There you go, Jen. Good idea. Kiddie starver, yeah. Kipper. But I've been following that. Got money for the Ukraine, but not for the kids here. You know, when you've got one immigrant family that was reported the other day with the size of the family that are getting over $1 million a year in fucking benefits. Yet we struggle to put food on the table. Some of the families over here that are our own people. It's just wrong. This whole country's wrong, and I can see it exploding before long. I really can. Sorry about the voice, people. Yeah. Yes, it is a good one, Lost Souls. I haven't heard that one before. I will. So, you know what I'm like. That's one I will remember. But yeah, the 43 million to the fucking Royals. You know, the fucking age of him and his missus. I mean, why haven't they given him a bus pass? Get him on the fucking bus. Yeah, sure. They have started some of those sort of things over here, but I don't believe that they should put them above any English person anyway. You know, it's fucking disgusting. I mean, you got the Tommy Robinson March. I won't call it a protest because it's not billed as a protest in London on the 27th. Now, Tommy's already said, you know, don't wear masks, don't get drunk, don't provoke the police. You know, if the police want to do anything, let them create the hassle and it'll just prove what we were saying. But it'll be interesting if there's any counter protests there, how the police deal with that. Because I think this is going to be bigger than the last one. Yeah, the budgie flu. We know it's a scam, but they still keep talking about it. But people are less likely to take notice now after the last fuck up that they tried. Matrix, hello, buddy. Wife bought a brand new Bugatti Veyron, £2.5 million. Yep. This is what you get. Yeah, it is very strange, that one, Gary. Whether we're going to see more of that. I'm sorry, not looking at the camera, guys. I'm trying to concentrate on the chaps. My eyes are still fucked up at the moment. We know they're trying some new lenses, and I'm also going to have the coating on them, which stops a lot of the reflection off the computer screens. So, what was that alert from? What did I just get an alert for? What? Oh, something. Oh, it's Discord.
I was just about to say something popped up on Discord.
Yeah, thank you, Lucutus. Just posted the live stream. I haven't even had an alert myself that I've gone live on me. You had one, did you?
Yeah, I had one that you were on in half an hour, and then I had one that you'd gone live. So.
Yeah, it's someone posted on Facebook, Kipper. You know, have you heard anybody moaning that didn't take the jab? Everybody that's moaning are the ones that have took it. So, Iron Stitch. But yeah, they'll try and push that. They've been hinting at it for months, haven't they? Oh, one person in fucking Mexico died from a strain of it. It's a load of bollocks. Absolute load of bollocks. Yeah, exactly, Gary. I've never been jabbed up, and as I've said, my consultant said if I had have had it, knowing what we know now, I probably wouldn't be here. So, and that comes from a hematologist, believe it or not. No, Kipper, no regrets not having it at all. None whatsoever, mate. And I don't know anybody that has any regrets not having it.
Sick of hearing about people that wish they hadn't had so many.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's more people moaning that have had it than those that aren't. And a lot of people don't realise that if you were forced to take it to keep your job, there is an avenue to actually sue that employer in place, because they should not have threatened you with your job. I don't know anybody that's done it personally, but I have heard and read stories of people who have done it and have been very successful. But it'll be like the damage through vaccine acts. The payout will be minimal. It will be a set figure. And if you bring a private one out, it probably wouldn't even cover your legal fees. But we had a good one yesterday on YouTube. Now, for those of you that do watch my videos, for weeks now, I've been saying, there's one person pops up on every other video just about and puts a dislike on it. Probably a troll, someone I've pissed off or whatever, but I don't fucking worry.
Okay.
So I thought, right, I'll put a video out and mention it, because I don't mention them. I don't feed them. I just can't be fucking arsed with the people like that. Mentioned it, and now there's 2 or 3 of them in there. So I know exactly how many people are watching that are just there to troll and put dislikes on it. But look at the figures on 2 videos on one day. My actual video, my normal sort of content, I think it's up to about 120 views now. But I stuck a couple of minute one up of funny cats, just for the hell of it and to see what would happen. Oh, I don't want to speed my cleaner up. Thank you very much. Fuck off. And that's gone well over, I think it's over 600 now. But it has brought my normal video up the feed a bit more because of the views on that one. This is how YouTube works. And there was 3 dislikes on a funny cat video. Get that one. Cheers, Matrix. Kipper had a flu jab a month. Yeah, I won't even have the flu jab, Kipper. Never had them. All it does is give you the flu. Well, I usually get it once a year anyway. So why would I go and take it at something that's going to give it me? And on the years where I don't get it, I've got it because I've had that one. Yeah, Gary, the thumbs up and what have you, alerts on my channel. As you know, I've been shadow banned and YouTube just fuck around with it all the time. That's why I call them the faceless cowards. But I don't know, it was probably a glitch, although I did blame them for it. The other day, where I posted the 2 videos and nothing came up in the management section. So I couldn't go into the management section to check on the progress of the video. I had to go all the way back through the analytics because I don't get an alert for comments. And they do remove quite a lot. They even removed some of my replies on a couple of videos this week. Good evening, Missy. But what else we got? Oh, pardon me, gassy tonight. Yes, Starmer took the vote in the House on the kids' benefits, child allowance, and 7 MPs objected of his own. He didn't like the fact that they objected, so he suspended them for 6 months from the party. Now, what does that tell you about the bloke? He's just a little dictator. Yeah, Kipper. Unfortunately, I mean, I've always said YouTube used to be one of the best platforms out there. Certainly one of the easiest ones to use. But I always said, with the censorship that they started to bring in and how ridiculous they've got, it will consume itself. And all we'll end up with is funny cat videos and bullshit videos from the left and mainstream media. And sadly, a lot of the other platforms have gone that way as well. There ain't many out there now that there isn't some form of censorship on. I mean, I have got BitChute. What else have I got? I have got a Rumble account as well, although I've never posted anything on there. Yeah, see, I'm old school Matrix. I get stuck once I start trying to get signed into other platforms. I get confused. I have too much going on. Agree with the two-child thingy. Why should everyone else ask? Yep. In a way, Stuart, I'm with you there. You know, these ones that have got a dozen kids and what have you, and the ones that just had the kids just for the child benefit, the single mothers. Yeah, I kind of agree on that. That's always been an issue. And it has been since right back in the 70s, where single mothers would use it just to get benefits.
Back in the day, it was the guaranteed way of getting a council house.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was, as Heather rightly says, monetize Robo Keys, you will live forever. Yeah. Yeah, it was a known thing back then, you know, unless you were a single mother, you didn't stand much of a chance of getting a fucking council house. But during the boom times when they were building council houses, yeah, it was a little bit easier. Yeah, I've never used Twitter, Matrix. It's one of the platforms that never interested me. I never used to do Facebook until a little while back. As some people know, it was only down to Heather and a friend of ours, or a friend of mine, sat here and set it up on my phone. Nathan, good evening, bud. Yeah, on the thing, point of mobile phones, if there's those of you out there that don't use your phone a lot on Wi-Fi, you just make phone calls and texts. I've actually, Heather's changed provider, and I'm going through the process of changing as well.
Jenny told me, actually.
It was Jenny that said about it. It's a Welsh company. What's it called?
RWG.
RWG. It's a monthly SIM-only deal, and you can get unlimited texts, unlimited phone calls, and I think it's 2 gig of data for emergencies if you want it, for £3.50 a month. Would you believe?
There are other packages, but they are all ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, it could be a reason why it's cheap. It could go down. I don't know how long it will last, but it's well better than paying what I've been paying Vodafone for a lot less. So I went in today and told them that I'm going to fuck off. I've been with them for donkey's years, but now in the way the financial world is now, for what I want out of it, they're an unviable platform.
Well, if you don't use your phone a lot, you can get a package that's only £2 a month.
Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, Kipper, that is the way I'm looking at it. They're the ones that are breeding the most and have got the bigger families, and I'm hoping it's going to hit them. You know, I mean, to be honest, if you look at most young English couples now, a lot of them aren't going in for kids. They can't afford them. If they want to buy a house, you know, they've both got to be working full time. Thought polygamy was against the law in this country. It is against the law, but if it's your religion, you can have more than one wife in this country, providing you didn't marry them in this country. Yeah, this is the thing, Kipper. They can claim for a lot more than we can with the way their families are set up. I don't know the ins and outs of it. Most penicide using their powers. CJ, good evening. Gary's going to start his own religion. Well, there's plenty that haven't there. There's the Jedi. There's also, what was that other weird one?
The spaghetti monster thing.
That's it. Yeah, the House of the Spaghetti Monster or something like that. That is actually a recognised religion. Everyone. Let's no way I can get that. Oh, bloody eyes are going funny again. Share screen, window. That's Holly's. Kevin. I take it that's something you just drew, is it, Holly?
No, that's a scan.
That is a scan.
Can you not make it bigger? Scroll in.
No, because I'm only on half a page.
Can you make the picture bigger?
No, I can't. That's what I just said. I'm on half a page, darling. You know. I must dig the one out of mine. And so I've got a whole disc of it down there. Now I've got to try and get back from that now. How the fuck?
Stop presenting.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, but I want to get back from that as well on there. Oh, now it's gone all together. Oh. Right, come on up. Come on up. Come on. There we go. Yeah, on mine, on the disc. It does, doesn't it, Ollie? Yeah, on the disc, there's the two big veins that go around the back of your head, lower down, and you can see the lump in there. And it also shows off my fractured skull as well. I've got the MRI and the CT scans in there and X-rays all on a disc, which I got from the X-ray department. which you can go and get. I don't know whether they still do them. You do have to pay for them. I didn't, because I was working at the hospital at the time, and I knew the ladies in there, so they put one together for me. Yeah, sell it for me. He's absolutely fine, Nathan. He's looking after mum and dad, obviously. He does keep in touch. He was on Discord with us earlier on a private server we got. But no, he's absolutely fine, mate. He's a bit disappointed because he's bought a motor and it failed the MOT on a broken spring, but he's getting that sorted. Yeah, on mine, Jen, I've got all sorts on there because obviously on the disc, it's not just a picture. There's, sort of video of it, sort of gut progression, as it were, the scan. And then you've got stills on the side of it. I've got the ones on there of me busted up shoulder. There is one somewhere where they tried to do the trapeze to put my shoulder back together that failed. Yeah, I do, Nathan. And for those of you that were asking about Resist, because you haven't seen him for a while, he's not about. He's took a step back from the internet for a little while. Things were getting a bit overwhelming for him. So I've been in touch with him personally, and he's just took a step back for a while. He's having some time to himself. Just a bit of R&R and recuperation from it all. I mean, I know how he feels. I mean, it gets a bit much for me sometimes, especially sitting here near enough every day, reporting on the shit that's going on. It can get you down, and it does get you depressed. But that's why he hasn't been about. He's absolutely fine. He said to pass on his respect and love for you all, and he will be back at some point. But he did say if I could let you know. I said absolutely, mate. You're part of the community in here. What do you call it? Oh, here we go. Oh, you woke up, have you? Nope. We're just turning around, are we? Okay. We better have kitty cat cam on. Yeah. Who's that then, kitty cat? Oi.
Not looking.
You're not interested, are you, mate? You're not
No.
interested. You're not interested. You robo kitty. You robo kitty. She is eating a bit better.
As long as it's chicken.
Yeah, as long as it's chicken. She has put on a little bit of weight. But it was funny. She got a bit spaced out again on the pills the other night. I must stop her snorting them. She does, Holly. She looks straight into your soul. It's even worse when you've just woke up and you look out and you're just trying to open your eyes and there it is, staring at you. Tara Hawks. Yeah, she's absolutely fine, Holly. We've got to take her back. I think it's next week for another check just to see how she's going on. We will have the battle again tonight to Try and get the pills down her neck, I expect. No, I'm not nicking her meds. I've got enough of my own and another new lot as well. And now they've got me on supplements, and one of them I understand and I know why. It's
Your pregnancy tablets.
me what?
The latest set of tablets they've given you, which were delivered the other day, they normally give to pregnant ladies.
Yeah, well, I'm not pregnant. All right, CJ, take it easy, buddy. Be safe out there, mate. I know you've been getting a bit of grief off the Gardy. Keep getting alerts over here. Oh, it's on there. Okay, yeah. Second-hand stores. Yeah, they because of me muscle spasms and that. They've got me on folic acid. That's one of them. And the problem with my eyes, according to the optician today, obviously with the polycythemia, the vision goes in and out of focus all the time. But also part of the problem with having that is dehydration, which is also affecting my vision. My eyes are drying out. They're not keeping moist, which makes them sore, makes them water, makes them sting. And that is the problem with them. And I keep rubbing them, which doesn't help. But I did put a wet towel over them for half an hour earlier, and no, it's nothing to do with the coat, Gary. It's the polycythemia. It does dehydrate you terribly. Even my skin. Doesn't matter how much I drink or what. It flakes. It's just where it dries out all the time. Let me mute that up for a sec so that's not bleeping in the background all the time. I do drink other stuff as well, Jen. I like orange squash. Trouble is, I don't just like drinking just straight water. I like a bit of flavour in it. Yeah, well, that's the alcohol, Gary. Alcohol dehydrates the body anyway. Yeah, people say, oh, it's good, it's this, that, but it don't. It just dehydrates you. Drone, good evening, mate. But yeah, that's the issue with the eyes as well as the focus. We'll see if the new glasses, once I get them next week, as I say, hopefully with the coating to cope with the computers, then might be a bit better. So I'm reading Discord at the same time. Yeah, well, I just can't drink just straight water, Jen. It's straight water for me is just
Especially
a survival
our
liquid.
water.
Eh?
Especially our water.
Yeah, and I'm not paying the price of the bottled shit. What did you see? The Friday libraries. Yes, CJ, I did, mate. He's probably gone by now. He was going. Yeah, they're getting bloody ridiculous over there now. I've been following what's been going on around Dundalk and Dublin as well. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they're trying to, Yeah, you're literally being replaced over there, more so than we are here. No, I multitasking, Missy, especially with my memory, short-term memory. It's a job. I forget what I'm looking at. I end up typing something on one platform that was supposed to have gone on another, or I type it to the wrong person.
You lose track of where you are mid-sentence.
Yeah, it is a bit of an issue. And at the moment, there's no sort of real thing to say it's going to get any better. The stroke problem, none of that seems to be getting any better. The blood issues are going up and down a little bit. No, I'd never take offence to anything like that, Missy. Yeah, that's the problem, Gary. And the thing is, Ireland has been, people don't realise it, Dublin especially, it has been very multicultural for quite a few years now. Temporary, usually. I mean, the Spanish and Italian universities used to use Dublin University to send their students over to learn English. Would you believe? I am, Jen, very tired. I haven't had a kip today. And I've been on the go since about 7 o'clock this morning.
And I kept you awake half last night because I didn't sleep.
Yeah, and I didn't sleep very well at all last night anyway. I woke up about 12:30. Then we had the bloody police helicopter buzzing around for half the night. And I didn't sleep very well at all. And the thing is, because I've given up the devil's lettuce and I don't drink anyway, I haven't really got anything that I can use at the moment to, knock me out and give me a night's sleep. You can see in my eyes, they're red and sunken. I have got to see the doctor or try and make an appointment this week because based on my breathing, sometimes now it is getting painful with my chest. So I'm going to see if I can get that looked into and see if I can get them to prescribe something. I'm not going to use them all the time, but if I've got the prescription there, I will have something I can take to basically give me a night's sleep. I used to drink half a bottle a night, nurse, but I don't think they're going to give me that. Yeah, but Gary, you got the new one now, haven't you? The grey fields, as they're branding them. They're somewhere in between that Stamper can turn around and say, no, we can build on there. But they ain't never going to get the number of houses built that they're talking about. Not a chance. Yeah, Missy, she has got quite a big cast skillet out there, which could do quite a bit of damage. But a good slap round the head with me could actually kill me now. It could cause blood clots quite easily. And I could bleed out for internal bleeding. Night Owl is a good one for sleep.
I'm not going to jail for you, sorry.
No. No, I shall get some on prescription, Jen. I shall do a bit of research, see what's out there and say, well, look, this is the one that I've been recommended. Can you give it me on prescription? And they're pretty good around there. I'm sure they just give me what I want to get rid of me. Because
they did with me. I went in with the list.
Well, they actually got the doctor to ring me to sort my phone calls and problems out, didn't they?
Yep.
Because I won't take the shit from the receptionists. And now you want to talk to me, you send a fucking doctor around. Get a doctor to ring me. Yeah, sure, Missy, which is being taken as a jest, darling. Don't get all upset about it. Zimmervane. Never heard of that one, Gary. Never heard of it. Yeah, it is hard to relax when you do the things I do on here. You know, you can imagine what you've got to watch and listen to get the content, to put the content out. Yeah, I could sit here, listen to mainstream media all day and just copy what they're doing, but they're not telling the truth. So, you know, you've got to look at a story, and each story, it can take anything between 20 minutes and 2 hours to go and find the real story, find the backstory. Look up what it says in some of the local papers or in the main press. And, you know, I don't go as far as Dan does with the police stories. I mean, he's got contacts all over. He will contact the press officer at the police stations and stuff like that. But obviously, you can't do that with some of the stories that I cover. I could with the police stories, but I don't cover a lot of them. Like I say, one got stabbed in Durham in the prison when he was visiting somebody on a different case. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it, because I don't really care. You know, I give them about the same thought as they give us when we get injured. And it does take a bit of digging to find the corruption going on in and around them. And Dan will tell you that. And that's why he gets the fatigue, and he does a lot more of it than I do. You know, to put one of his videos out, a 10-minute video, that might cost him 6 hours of research, filming, editing. Whereas what I do my research, I make my notes, and I try and do it all in one hit. Yeah, the pain isn't too much of an issue. I've got cocodamol. When I do get the odd pain or two, I do use it, but I try not to. And I don't put myself in any position where I get into a lot of pain at the moment.
Not unless I have anything to do with it.
Not unless you have anything to do with it, yeah. Okay, the wind's big. Yeah, we got a fan on behind us, Jen. And when you can see it whirring away there, it is quite warm and humid here.
Well, I couldn't sleep last night, even with the fan on.
Yes, the other fan. Well, I'll take the big one up tonight if you want. But yeah, it's overcast here. It has been raining, but it hasn't cooled down any.
Muggy.
Zoppler clone. Never heard of that one either. I used to use Tramadol a lot, but I mean that used to that would lay me out and vegetate. I'd turn into a zombie on that.
I can't have a tryptoline.
It's not been cold here, Jen. It's been quite warm. Yeah, exactly, Missy. I mean, that was one of the reasons I came up with the idea yesterday of banging up the Funny Cats video on the channel. I mean, on Facebook, if I need cheering up and want a bit of a giggle, I always look for a Funny Cats video. Yeah, trouble is, Holly, Tramadol can be very, very addictive. And your body, it's like anything, once you start using it, you need more and more. I mean, as I've said before, I used to use it as a preventative measure when I was mountain biking, because I had it as a painkiller on prescription. And I could get it in any amount I want, really, back then. And it was getting to the stage where I was taking it as a preventative measure. So when I did get hurt, it didn't bother me. But because I was taking it, I didn't give a shit if I got hurt or not. You know? I mean, there was a report, I can't even remember doing it, but one of my mates said I took off on a jump and I just stepped off the bike for some reason. I weren't going to crash. I hadn't done anything wrong. The jump was going absolutely fine. He said, you look like you just stood off the bike and let the bike go in the air. And I couldn't actually remember doing it. But it's a shame you didn't get that one on camera, actually, because that would have been funny.
Oh,
But I've got too many mountain biking videos. I've got thousands of them on one of the other laptops, and I just haven't got the time to go through them all. No, I said I like funny cat videos, Missy. But yeah, that's why I said the 3 that disliked it. Then yeah, there must be something slightly unbalanced
I
with
was
them.
going to say, I think that's what she was on about. People put a thumbs down on it. Are you all right for drink over there? I'm going in the kitchen.
I'll have another Coke, please. I've cut right down on my Go Juice now. My energy drinks. Yeah, I didn't have any reactions on it, Jen, other than getting off my tits, basically. Good evening, Phil. But the thing is, I've tried to do, I've got a few videos of my little cat here. But to get them to do something funny, you've literally got to be either training them to do it, which you've got no bloody chance with her, or you've got to have a camera on them 24/7 to catch them when they do something funny. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious. I'll show you where she is now. That's where she spends a lot of her time. That's why the arm of that chair is all dirty. When I'm on the computer or at my desk, that's where she'll sit. And she'll actually fall asleep there. And when she does, she ends up down there. because literally she'll just fall off. Oh, there we go. Fuzzy again. And she did it earlier on this afternoon, and I just caught her ass started to slide off. Oh, sorry, Missy. Yeah. Yeah, 3 people didn't like it. I was quite shocked at that. But there you go. There's no accounting for taste for some weird people, is there? But, it shows how many people are watching. But hopefully the number of views on that should bump me. They actually bring my videos forward a bit more. I might try it every now and again. Just put one together or find someone who'll let me copy theirs, like I had that one, and just post that. Looking very colourful tonight. What you got on? Oh, your leafy t-shirt thing. It's like a surfy
Hawaiian t-shirt.
Yeah, surfy job, I call it. Me. Drab desert colours. Army. I did have khaki green on yesterday.
I like wearing red.
Oh, pardon me. Again. Oh, what else? Oh, yeah, that was another one today, wasn't it? Well, the other day. Now, you got all the shit going on around Europe. most countries now are going against the EU. Yet von der Leyen got voted back in to run it. How the fuck does that work, for crying out loud? Karen, good evening. You know, she got voted back in. But you gotta love the Polish member of parliament that stood in there, told her exactly what she thought and told her she should be in prison. I mean, that's what should be happening with the EU. It's a waste of space. And then you got the IT outage. Well, I'm seeing a lot of information on that, and it's not being fact checked by anybody. So I'm taking it as genuine, which from what I've seen, it is. The company, what were they called? I've forgotten what they were fucking called again now.
Yeah, man.
Oh, God. But the company who caused it are actually connected to the WEF, the World Economic Forum. And one of my subscribers put out on Facebook, again, which hasn't been fact checked. They have fact checked it themselves and found it. That the top security bod from that company actually sold a lot of shares in the company before it happened.
Just the day before.
Literally the day before. No, it's not BA Systems, Gary.
No.
No.
No. I'm going to look for you in a second.
Yeah, something. My head's gone. Actually, I've got it. I've got it in my files here because I've got some screenshots of some of it. CrowdStrike. That's it. Now, if you... where are we? Here we go. So 4,000 shares. I got another post somewhere that says how much he made on it. And that was their chief security officer. And he sold those just before the hassle where they took basically the worldwide net down, didn't they? If you think about it. You know, it's... but as I pointed out, it just shows how easy it can be done. People are saying, and I'm more than likely to believe it, that was possibly a trial run for something in the future. I mean, it's still causing a lot of hassle now. Lockheed Martin has nothing to do with that lot, Gary. The Lockheed Martin are the ones that control the CIA and do all their stuff, as well as our census. They got involved in that. They got all the information from our census in this country. What are you laughing at now? Yeah, I did for years, Jen. As I said, it was only literally once I moved to Birmingham that I got involved with the internet and learned how to use it. And that's only what Heather taught me originally. She taught me how to use eBay to buy the bits for my bikes. And I used to watch videos on YouTube. That was it. That was my full extent and knowledge of the internet. Then I started my own channel. I was persuaded by Dan and several others after being on his channel. Why don't I start one? And then after going on some other people's lives, I mean, Matrix, who was in here, I went on his live. And one of my subs taught me how to use StreamYard. And then the next I know, Heather's downloaded it for me. And away we go. And up until then, I'd never bothered with the internet. To be honest, I was happy watching videos, but there was things going on that I weren't happy about, and I wanted to get the message out there. So that was the origins of my channel. And I must have been getting somewhere close to the bloody things going in and out, in and out. Oh, don't say the cameras are going to start fucking around now. Or is that my eyes? Is the picture blurred, darling? Or is that my eyes? Hello?
Sorry, what?
Don't matter.
Sorry.
I said, is the picture blurred or is it my eyes? No, Jen said you've gone blurry. Right.
You're blurred.
Yeah, let me go switch the camera back to the other one a minute. And then go back to that one. And we're back. Yeah, there's a little green square popping about in the middle there then. I don't know what that was all about.
That's better.
Yep, and I'll tell you something else I'm going to do. I'm going to turn that fan up on because I'm actually sweating the tits off over there. Keep it under that desk. Oh, good. I thought about it. Do you want a fan on you permanently?
Don't worry. If you want that one over there, take that one.
Well, I've got the little one here I can put on the floor pointing at me and this one at you.
Okay, do that then.
Bear with me, folks. It's getting a bit warm here. Little cat probably won't go a lot on it because she doesn't like the fans. Put that on there. And then if I turn around that so it doesn't hit you, cat. Oh, it's better. Oh no, she don't like it. She's off.
That's all right. She can go elsewhere.
She doesn't like the fans. She don't like the drafts. Oh, my fucking eyes. Oh, see that believe it or not, that just walking over there, moving them two fans, that's took my breath away.
Take my breath away.
Oh, don't start singing.
Nice to know you love me that much.
Oh, I did say please. Yeah, we've got these two here, and I've got another one of those little ones that we have up in the bedroom. There is another one of them pedestal ones out in the shed, but it's burnt out. Top Gun, yeah, it's one of my favourite films, actually, Gary.
He used to be proud of the fact that I could sing. Now he moans when I start singing.
Because I'm usually doing something else. I watched the new one the other night on TV. I didn't go a lot on that one. But the first one, yeah, I did like that one. And the music was a lot better in that one as well. No, that's what I mean, Gary. It was The other one you could see happening, the dogfight scenes were more realistic. I mean, there's the new one. It was just ridiculous. You wouldn't have that many missiles on the mountaintops like that, and you certainly wouldn't been able to maneuver a jet up those valleys. I mean, you've only got to look at the in Wales where they go through there, and you just wouldn't be able to do it. Not even with an F-50, F-35. But I've actually got a mate who works on those. He rebuilds the gimbal for the exhaust outlet at the back of the F-35 when it directs down. It's what they call it, thrust vectoring. He actually repairs and services the gimbals that it turns on. He went to the show the other day and he was given a personal tour of the aircraft and what have you. I won't show the pictures, obviously. I don't want to get the guy into trouble. But he did WhatsApp me a couple of pictures. Nothing technical, but it is an amazing aircraft. But it's, millions and millions and millions of pounds worth. And what's the point when one missile is basically going to wipe a whole city and half a small country out, whatever? And we're getting closer and closer to that now. I mean, they're talking about the new Axis forces. For those that don't know, they're the opposite of the Allied forces. And the Axis at the moment, obviously, Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, I believe. I mean, once they get their act together, yes, we could be well in the shit, to be honest. Because it's going to be the mad situation and mutual assured destruction, because if one launches, the others are going to launch. And they'll probably launch before the impact of the first lot. So literally, it's those who survive will go on. Most won't. The country that will survive the most, I believe, would be Sweden. Because they've literally got underground shelters, fallout shelters for most of the population. Yeah, it'd be mutually assured destruction, mad, Karen, they call it. Now, New Zealand haven't got nowhere near as much as Sweden has. Is it Sweden or Switzerland? One of the two. But even now, when they build a new housing estate over there, they've got to build enough bunkers to hold the population of the housing they're building. I haven't heard from her, Jen. Somebody did tell me that she'd been on a few live streams elsewhere.
It was Holly.
I think it was Holly, actually. And she was all right there. And other than that, I haven't heard a word from her. It'd be nice if popped in and said, yeah, I'm fine, but hey ho. Yeah, they got a lot of tunnels and purpose-built ones as well, Gary. I can't remember it's side of Sweden or Switzerland. But it is in their building regulations. Like if they build an estate of, say, X amount of 100 houses with so many 100 residents, then there's got to be provisions for those people in a fallout shelter. America has always had them. A lot of civilians have bought up the old missile silos and converted them and old command centers. She was on Society House. She started going on those sort of streams, actually, Stuart.
That's where she'd been seen.
Fair enough. I don't go on any of those streams. In fact, I don't go on any other streams, to be honest. I did. I do Dan's when he's on. I did go on Resists a couple of times, but I don't usually go on to other streams, especially ones, no disrespect to Society X and that. But there's people in them streams that I just don't like, can't get on with, and I don't want to be anywhere near them. You know? And I'll be totally honest. It's one of the reasons I don't go on Rev streams now. There's just too many dickheads in there for me. I just can't be doing with that. That's not what I'm on the internet for. Yeah, I still watch Rev. I just don't go on his streams. Yeah, exactly, sure. It's just drama, drama, drama. Yeah, they get a lot more viewings than me. They get higher ratings. But I can't see the point of doing what they do. You know? Just sitting there screaming and shouting at each other, and I can't see the point. Can't see the point. I mean, and once I go to bed anyway, Stuart, that's it. It's like when I go out the door. Even if I take a phone up with me, if I'm expecting a call, I don't take the one up that's connected to Wi-Fi. I take my personal one. Once I'm in bed, it's me and the TV if I'm awake, or Heather and the TV. Yeah, and that's the thing, Gary. You know that you get the ones come off of those channels, you say something, and then they come over, they start pissing around on yours. You know, I know I've got one or two lurkers in the back of here. Some are good lurkers. Some of them are good friends of mine. They just don't like to come in and be known. Bless you. And there's also the ones that come in there because they'll like to take a screenshot or a recording so they can go and take the piss somewhere else. And it's always, oh, you said this about fucking camera. You took the piss out of this one. You took the piss out of that one. This is what he said. And it just creates drama, which I can't be arsed with. To be honest, you know, if I got a beef with somebody, I'm just more likely to turn up on their doorstep and give them a fucking slap. You know, they could turn up on mine and try and give me a slap, but that's how I sort my issues out. You know, shouting and screaming at each other down a microphone through a screen. That's cowards way out. Yeah, I just have the TV up there, Stuart. That's it. You know, that's on the Freeview. There's a lot of documentaries on till late at night. And to be honest, they're the sort of programs I prefer to watch. I do like the oldie films. No, when I step away from this computer here, Jen, that's it. I'm just same as when I walk out the door. I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi in any way, shape, or form when I'm out. I could sit and watch funny cat videos all day, Gary. Well, funny animals, full stop. Doesn't have to be cats. They can be absolutely hilarious. You know what, Karen? I just lay there sometimes and I hear that sound all the time in my head, actually, you know, from working. and on the sea and in the water, I hear the sounds in my head all the time, and I quite often visualize it as well. Yeah, there's nothing smart about the one up there, Jen. It's just a basic free view. That's it. We've got a smart one here, but well, it's not that smart. It's quite old now. There are better looking ones. But yeah, you can get YouTube
It's
and
that
that on
clever
this
you
one.
can't use it.
Yeah, it is that clever. I can't use it. And I used to stream some of the YouTube videos onto it, cast them across. But then I realised that this computer hasn't got Wi-Fi. It's hardwired because it's a desktop. Whereas I used to cast it over from the laptop, which has got Wi-Fi. But I can fall asleep watching any film or documentary. It's not that hard.
Until I turn it up so I can hear it, and then the machine guns start going.
Yeah, that's the issue. The fucking adverts come on and the volume goes up, and you're watching it at 1:30 in the morning. You got the neighbours behind the wall the other side. I don't like to disturb them. It would wake Heather up, although 9 times out of 10 she's awake anyway. Watching Y-Files. And Mr. Ballon? No. Never heard of that one, Jan. I will fall asleep with YouTube, Gary, but only when I'm dozing in my chair here if I have been nap in the afternoon. That's the only time I'll doze off with them. But even that, I'll watch an afternoon film to try and help me fall asleep. Yeah, there's a lot of true crime stories, Karen. Jen, sorry. A lot of channels do stuff like that. Blaze is another good one. And PBS America. You might like that one, actually, Stuart. That does cover a lot of the wars and the war documentaries. At the moment, it's rerunning the whole story over the next few weeks of the Vietnam War. The why. That fish is annoying. What? Oh, hecklefish. Hecklefish. Never heard of that one. Never heard of it. I mean, there was an absolute brilliant one on, was it? I think, again, that was PBS a couple of weeks back. And it was quite a long documentary. It was over 2 nights. And both nights, there was like 4 hours of it. And it was the art of propaganda. How it's used in war and stuff like that. And that was an interesting documentary. Very interesting. And it gave a good insight to not just how armies used it, but how governments used it, how businesses use it. We had a thing back in, it's probably the mid-70s at the cinema when they used to give the old subliminal messaging. You didn't even know it was going on. But until I saw and read up about it a few years later. Don't look up the Y-Files, it will hurt your brain. My brain hurts anyway, Gary. I did try and watch, being as they got all pissy about it, I did click on that new so-called comedy called Piglets the other night. What a load of bollocks that was. Stood it for about 5 minutes. Nah, I don't even know why the police are upset about that. I think they were just pissed off with the name of it because it's about the police in college. It's psychic karma. No, I've never even heard of that one, believe it or not. Yeah, it is. The ads are a different level, when they Stitch. You know, I mean, I'm quite happy to listen to a TV on, well, I have them set on volume number 10, which is absolutely perfect for me, and it's perfect for me upstairs. But then when the ads come on, they're like a third louder again. Any truth in it? No, Roger. What, in the Piglets one? No, sure. It's what I call silly comedy. It's the sort of comedy that a 10-year-old kid would understand. It's the volume levels on the program, Stitch. Years ago, they used to adjust them so the ad volumes were the same as the program. Now they don't bother. And it's more American style with the ads now as well. You don't know when they're coming up. They're just, boom, they're there. Yeah, well, it's they can't really say anything about it, Missy. I mean, it's not a derogatory term. It's actually an animal. The fact that it's a nickname for the police, I mean, they can be as pissy and be as upset as they like them, as much as they like about it, but they can't fucking do anything about it. Yeah, that was it, Stuart. Then they weren't bothered about the content because it is that ridiculous. They were pissed about the name. They were not happy about that. But you know, but pardon me, Jesus, I'm gassy tonight. But the police bring it on themselves, you know. As far as I'm concerned, they always have. You know, they complain, oh, you got cameras on me, you got cameras on me, you shouldn't be filming us working. Well, if you fucking behaved yourself and did the job as you're supposed to, we wouldn't need to put the cameras on you. We wouldn't need to film you. But they can't. And they'll always, oh, well, we've got our footage. You say, yeah, and their footage quite often gets corrupted.
Or lost.
Or lost, yeah. I mean, look, Tommy Robinson's film was absolutely bang on. 39 coppers in the court, all of them with body cam footage, and 39 lots of film was corrupted or lost. Now, what is the odds on that? You know, and they think the people don't see it. And this is why, like Dan says, and I always say, if you're interacting with them, you've got a perfect right to film them for your own safety. Yes, if they arrest you, there is a chance they're going to take your phone off you, and they will fuck it up, believe me, and they will hold it to punish you. But you've got the evidence, you know. You're always better off getting somebody stood back filming. And that's why I always say a dash cam in the car is a good thing. One that you can move around. I mean, I use the sports cams rather than a dash cam because they're easier to remove. You haven't got to plug them in. And I've also got a couple of those little ones that I will have on the dashboard at times, pointing at the speedo. So if they try and say, oh, you were speeding, you did this, that, and the other. Well, no, I wouldn't. Look, there it is. Look on the fucking camera, mate. I've got the footage there. Let's go to court. Yeah, they do, Missy. They bring it on themselves every time. And the thing is, whether they actually know they make themselves look a bunch of dicks or whether they just don't care. But I wouldn't have thought there's any coppers out there now that don't know about YouTube and that don't know that the videos end up on there or Facebook or wherever. You know, they just play dumb. And they know they can get in the shit for it. We need to hold them account like they do with the American ones. You know, the American police are a lot worse. They are a lot more violent. They're all fucking armed, which most of them shouldn't be, looking at the state of a lot of them. But in fairness, they do get held to account. And the actual compensation payouts over there for misadventure, I'll call it. Can you imagine those sort of levels being paid out here? The Met Police would be bankrupt in a fucking week. Cat took herself off the bed, she?
No, she was down there.
Oh, she's laid between the fans, which is not getting any breeze. But yeah, the police keep saying that the mobile phones are the worst things. No, because it's our way of holding them to account. You know, you can't rely on them to be honest. Bannerman now with the evictions, where the police used to get involved with those and try and help the bailiffs and whatever. They're being turned around now. They're stopping them going in. And the police can't do a thing about it because they're doing it legally. In fact, the one the other week, I don't often watch them, but I did watch one where the head bailiff or whatever it was broke a window of a business to get in, and the people inside threw him straight back out the fucking window. And then he went to the police and claimed he'd been assaulted. Oh, yeah, okay. Actually, saying that about the painkillers, I've got a bit of a headache. Just seeing if I've got any in my drawer. Yeah, I think they do, Stuart. You know, I mean, there are one or two. You know, I don't watch a lot of auditors, as you know. You got people like PJ Audits and the drones flying around and that now. You know, PJ doesn't cover his face or anything, but you know, whether he's doing it the right way round or not, I don't know. But I just couldn't go out and do that. The police stations, yes, you know, see with their reactions, but I wouldn't go out and film anybody just to get a reaction. I'll film something if it happens, but I wouldn't go out just looking for it. That is the thing, Missy. Most of them don't know about the law. They haven't got a fucking clue. The only thing they know about the law is what their little phone tells them. You can see them there. Oh, can we get them on something? You know. Now, the old school copper knew that. They knew the law. These new ones now, the woke idiots. You know, and they come out with so much bullshit, they make themselves look stupid. You know, at least if you're going to try and use a law, at least research it, make sure you know it before you try and use it. You know, there was still ones trying to use, what was it, Section 44, 45, whatever it was, of the Terrorism Act. Well, it was repealed years ago. It doesn't even exist anymore. The same with the Road Traffic Act. They think 163 covers everything. Well, no, it doesn't. That just Gives them the power to stop you. It doesn't give them the power to do anything else. And the thing is, there is still a lot of the public out there themselves that don't know what the relevant sections are. Section 43 is still in force, Gary. It was 44 and 45 that they repealed, I think. Yeah, it was Section 44 that they repealed. But there is a lot of laws that should be repealed. I mean, you know, when you're relying on a law that dates back to the 1800s, it's fucking ridiculous. And most of our laws were based on maritime law anyway. So a lot of it wouldn't apply on land. I mean, everybody goes on under common law, this, that, and the other. Well, you try and use common law in a court. Yeah, that is the thing, Missy. Most of their warrants are illegal. Most of them that will class themselves as bailiffs, they're not. They're just third-party debt collectors. And the police will back them, which they shouldn't, because they should be impartial. And they should be there to stop a breach of the peace. But they'll only act if a member of the public causes a breach of the peace. They won't act if the bailiffs do. And this is what they're getting called out on now. So they're starting to have to act on it because so many are filming them. And this is the problem. It's the number of bodies, and that's what these people are doing now. You know, they'll get a word of an eviction. If you got upwards of 100 people stood outside, it's going to be a lot harder to scam their way in to kick people out, shall I say, because every single one of them will be filming. Yeah, he can go fuck himself with that, Jen. As far as I'm concerned, they're illegal channel paddlers. That's it. That's what I shall always call them. It's like a UFO is a UFO, not one of these ARBs or whatever they're fucking called, phenomena things. They're actually unidentified flying objects, and I shall keep calling them that. If he wants to use the word irregular, he can use that with his own people. We've got very irregular people in Parliament. Under Section 43, Stuart, if anybody actually gets arrested under that, the first thing they're supposed to do is get in touch with the anti-terrorism unit and to see if they've got any interest in them, the person they've arrested. If they say no, then they should let them go. They can't hold them under it. And that has been tried a few times, and they've had to let the person go because, the anti-terrorism user, well, why have you arrested them? That's not terrorism. But their actual code of practice says they should contact the anti-terror unit as soon as they've arrested somebody under the Terrorism Act. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of Andy the Gabby Cabby, Jen. He does very well, but I don't really like his style.
But Starmer has replaced illegal with irregular.
Oh yeah. And this is what they do. They'll change the word round just so it doesn't make it sound as bad. It's and all they're doing is they're making themselves look fucking stupid by doing it, to be honest. Veteran Army here. Yeah, he's hit quite a few of them, Missy. It's a group they've started up to protect the evictees, I'll call them. But there are some people there that should be evicted. I will admit there is people out there that deliberately don't pay their bills. They've got themselves in debt. It's the ones where they've tried to, like the banks, can't prove that they own the deeds, the titles. You know, some of them have actually paid their mortgage off. They've got papers to prove that they've paid their mortgage off, and the banks won't give them the paperwork. And then when you try and get the paperwork, oh, it's miraculously gone missing. Well, I'm sorry, if they can't prove that they own the bank, then they shouldn't be evicting anybody from the fucking house. You know, if you got yourself into debt, yeah, okay, you might have issues, you might have problems that are genuine. I've got a lot of debt, but I went through a different route. I went through an agency, worked out a plan. And at the moment, I'm paying £1 a month for 5 debts. They get £1 a month off me, that's it. That's it, Gary. And most of them aren't official bailiffs anyway. They're just third-party debt collectors that call themselves bailiffs. That's the problem, Jen. People like that the law backs them. There should be total laws against that. And the ones that squat, America is quite good for it, actually. Obviously, a lot of servicemen, the houses are empty for a lot of the time. And they do get squatters in them. And what they've done now, there's a group of bikers in America that will go and, let's say they repossess the house for you. I won't tell you how, but they'll repossess your house. They'll get people out. Yeah, this is what I said, Missy. There is a lot of jiggery pokery by the banks. Again, these people turn up trying to collect a debt that's been paid, but they'll keep persisting and they'll keep harassing people, and the debt's been paid off. And they'll come in with a warrant where they're saying, "Oh, we've got a high court warrant," and people will phone the court and they've never heard of it. There's no warrant been issued. The biggest con on that one is the TV's licensing brigade, where it's all rubber stamped in a warehouse, basically. Nothing to do with the courts. It's just rubber stamped by a council employee, basically. Yeah, there's been a few of them, Jen. I can't remember what the group's called over there now. But there was a coloured lad who had been posted overseas to come back and find somebody living in his house, and they wouldn't move out. But when the bikers got there, they suddenly moved. They disappeared out the house. But it's not only that, it's the damage the bastards do. I mean, I've seen them over here where they set booby traps for people going in once they've moved out. You know, they'll wire up the light switches to the mains. There's a good chance of you getting electrocuted. And it's and the thing is, I know there are people out there, what they used to call house sitters, where if you're going to be away, these people make a living. Well, not make a living, but they give themselves a roof. We're saying, look, we'll come and live in your house for you while you're away. They'll sign a contract that you move in on such and such a date, move in or out on such and such a date, and they'll have another one ready to move into when that one finishes. No, Missy, it's in America, that one. You'd get into a lot of trouble doing things like that over here, simply because the squatters have got so many rights. We know how woke the police are. They'll back the criminals every time. Yeah, but Gary, as the law says, if there's an open door or an open window in an empty property, you're not actually stealing anything, so it can't be called burglary. And then there is the Squatters' Bill of Rights, which to me is absolutely ridiculous. Whether that's anything to do with the ECHR, which is something I believe we should be walking away from, but it's something that's been installed in law here that we have to abide by that. And then so we'd have to leave the ECHR and change our laws here, our human rights laws, to get rid of it. And I'll tell you what, Missy, I know lots of bike clubs, not just HA, but there's a lot of bike clubs that people are absolutely delighted that they've got a clubhouse in their area because there isn't any crime. You know, they keep it clean. I mean, where Heather used to work, well, I used to work in the same building, in some offices for an accountant. And there was a bike clubhouse across the road. They're gone now, but they were a great bunch of lads, you know.
Richard wanted something from them once and sent me over to talk to one of them. He's like, go on, you can talk to them.
Yeah. No, they were great lads, you know. Civil War barracks. No, see, this is another thing that pisses me off. You got these empty army camps around the country. Now, the government have spent millions fitting some of these out and to house the illegals. Why couldn't they have done that years ago for the veterans? You know, they give millions to Gay Pride or whatever it's fucking called now, the alphabet people. All these little fractions get loads and loads of money off the government for their little groups. Veterans get fuck all.
But that's because you've needed something like a PTSD camp to actually set up and form a group. Because the biggest problem most of these lads had is they are on their own. They haven't got a group.
Actually, thank you. You've just reminded me on something there. Most of you know about the PTSD camp down in Bath that Joe and Dion run. Well, I believe now there is another one being set up connected to them down in Cornwall. They are looking for sponsors, helpers, people that can help out. So if anybody is interested in doing that sort of thing, then go look them up. PTSD Camp Bath. You'll find all the information there.
Let me see if I can find a link for folks.
That's good. I've no idea whereabouts, Missy. No idea whereabouts. I just heard about it the other day. There was talk of one being set up in Wales as well. But again, that's just something I heard about. I mean, I've got lots of contacts down in Cornwall, including ex-servicemen down there. I spent a big portion of my life in Cornwall. And most of the bike club I used to run with, they were all, well, at the time, a lot of them were serving. but obviously a lot of them now are veterans. And I still keep in touch with them.
Looks like they're on Facebook, so just bear with me. I'm looking.
Yeah, I can't. Darren says something. If you, I mean, everybody knows about the one in Bath, and they've got all the details because it was through them that this one was started up, I believe.
If anybody's on Facebook, just type in PTSD Camp Cornwall and it comes up with a link. PTSD Camp Bath also comes up with a link.
Yeah. Talked about
and,
what do you want to talk to me about, Missy? My life in Cornwall. There's not a lot of sun down south at the moment, Jen.
It's not telling me whereabouts in Cornwall, but they've got Facebook pages.
There you go. They're on Facebook. If you go on Facebook, PTSD Camp Cornwall, their page will come up.
And Bath, they're both on there.
Well, they are because they're connected.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me. More than up here. Yeah, well, yeah, the north is always a bit windier anyway, isn't it, Jen? I mean, we know that in Cumbria. You know, we've holidayed there for many a year now. And yeah, it is a bit different, the weather. But the thing is, down south, it's a lot more busier. The little coastal, there's not, unless you go Cornwall, Devon, there's not really these little hamlets where you can get away from it all. You know, you've got to go to somewhere quite, and everywhere is full of fucking immigrants along the south coast. And I'm literally full of immigrants. Well, we haven't had a lot here, Jen. We've had a couple of nice days. I mean, it's warm now, but it looks like we could even have thunderstorms out there. You know, it's very humid. That's right, Holly. You've been through a lot today, darling. You've been through a lot today. As I said, I didn't even expect you to be in here tonight, to be honest, with what you've been through today.
But we all know what it's like lying in hospital with bugger all to do.
Yeah, I was in for weeks, same as you were years ago. And I didn't even have the internet to play with when I was in there.
Neither did I.
St. Austell, it's a shithole, Jen. I'll be honest with you.
Ah, but there's a bead shop.
It's an absolute shithole, St. Austell. Same with Truro. And to be honest, you'll find more craft shops and places like that in the little out of the way villages and hamlets. You get quite a lot of crafts going on in those. Even Padstow now. I mean, I wouldn't even bother going to Padstow. St. Ives is an absolute waste of time. It costs you an absolute fortune. I mean, that was one of the reasons I come away from Newquay. I could see the way it was going. I mean, yeah, it was very hectic, all them during the summer. But in the winter, it was just mainly the locals. But it got to the point where the hardest thing to find in Newquay was a Cornishman. The only real Cornish people in Newquay were the fishermen. Everybody else was from up country. That's right, Jen. Yeah, and that is the way a lot of Cornish towns have gone now. There's again, that's something that you don't see on mainstream media a lot. That how much the locals are being pushed out of Cornwall because there's no houses for them. Because people from up country got their holiday homes, the second home, the prices have gone right up. I mean, when I was down there, which isn't that long ago, to be honest, in terms, you could buy a lovely little 3-bedroom cottage for around 30, 40 grand. The same one now is going to set you back probably 500,000. I mean, you've only got to look at these ones that are up for these, what do you call them? Not the lottery, raffle. These big houses that they give away. I mean, there's one up in Cornwall at the moment being given away on a ticket, which is £4 million. Yeah, exactly, Gary. Exactly. Cornwall is almost for property is almost as expensive as London. I mean, my little cottage that I had out in the middle of nowhere for a little while down there was brilliant. No electricity, no running water. And it was a lovely little, it suited me. You know, it had a water spring in the garden. The waste was a septic tank. I had to pay for that to be taken away. And if I wanted electric, it came from a generator out the back. I still had the old oil lamps in there, the paraffin lamps. And it used to be great. Open fire. Yeah, Newquay used to be a nice place, even with the Emmets, Missy, but it got, you know, I'd had enough of it. Loafer, good evening. I mean, the day I left Newquay and moved to another shithole, which was Bristol, I halved my hours and trebled my wages. That's how bad it was down there. And then I moved to Birmingham and the wages dropped again. And when I first moved to Birmingham, I was working for £6.50 a fucking hour. And I'd never worked for that lower wage for probably the best part of 30 years. But that was the thing, Gary. It was the lifestyle down there. It suited me. It's really fucking my eyes up again watching this chat.
The fan won't help.
Eh?
The fan won't help.
No, luckily enough, it's on my back. Yeah, it's not in my face, as it were. Mind you, I think I got that one on number 2 up there, so that yours might be a bit.
What?
That one's on number 2.
Oh, thank you. It's all right.
But it's easier for me to get up than you need to take
Yeah.
it.
You're doing a live stream, babe.
It's all right.
You're waiting on me.
There you go. That sorted that out. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed my years down in Cornwall. I mean, you know, they made me an honorary Cornishman. I'd been down there that long. The last time we went down, I mean, we only went down for a weekend. Newquay had changed that much. And I've looked on the internet about 3-4 weeks ago how it's all changed. and all the nice little hotels out on the headland are gone. They've been replaced with like big square fucking glass boxes. And you've got one of the most historic ones there, the Headland Hotel. If you look in the garden of that now, there's all these little lodges on top of each other, look like fucking sheds. And they've just ruined it. They've actually ruined Newquay. In fact, the Headland Hotel has got quite a lot of history. It was actually pulled down at one point by the locals. And when it all went to court, the owner of the lands, they all got prosecuted for it. I think they all got fined. I think it was 6 shillings, and they had to go and rebuild it. But it's also one of very few hotels or buildings in this country that's got an adjustable dance floor. Don't know whether anybody have ever heard of those.
Tower Ballroom is one of the last.
Hmm?
Tower Ballroom's got one.
Yeah, there's very few of them left. It depended on how many people were in there, what type of dancing was being done. They got big screw mechanisms in the corner of the dance room where they could tighten the timbers up and that to adjust how springy the dance floor was. Very old. And the cellars, well, they're the kitchens now, they were originally used as a hospital during the First and Second World War. But, I mean, on the quiet, Newquay has got a lot of history, but you got to know where to look. And a lot of the buildings have disappeared. You know, you had the Hewers huts still there out on the headlands, where the guy used to sit out there with his little horn, let everybody know when the heron had come into the bay. And the Headland Hotel was where the Witches film, called The Witches, was filmed. That was the setting for that. But if you want the real history, you've got to go out to sort of Delabole, obviously Camelot, which they call it Camelot, but it isn't Camelot Castle. It was actually a big building that was built by a very, very rich landowner back in them times. But it's the legend. It's, you know, the legend of Arthur. The headland's still there, Missy. It's one of the most expensive hotels in Newquay, overlooking Fistral Beach. Well, it looks Fistral Beach one side, then Newquay Bay the other side. What's the other one? There's another old one. You got the Victoria Hotel. That's nearly as old, but that's in the middle of town. It's got a pub on it, a nightclub underneath it.
But a lift to the beach.
Yeah, that's an unusual one. The Headland Hotel, the Victoria Hotel. Originally, they built a lift down through the cliff, tunnel down through the cliff to the beach, and there was a lift in there, so you didn't have to walk down to the beach. You could go straight down. And that was back in Victorian times, I believe. And there's the Atlantic. That's not that old. But there was quite a few old ones. No, Camelot's Cornwall, Missy. The Camelot Hotel is nice. That it overlooks the old Camelot ruins. He was the one famously turned down the government and told them to go fuck themselves when they asked him to rent it to them to hold the immigrants in. And he said, no, he should get fucked. The original Camelot, believe it or not, the theory is, yeah, it is Tintagel, Missy. The theory of Camelot is it was near Glastonbury rather than Cornwall. Simply because it was supposed to have been allegedly surrounded by a great lake. Well, the only place in the West Country that back then would have been a great lake would have been Somerset, on the Somerset Levels, because that was drained by the monks when they built and dug Sedgemoor Drain. So
if you really want to piss people off, Arthur is an act of fiction. He never existed.
He didn't exist.
So neither did Tintagel or any of the others.
There you go. But yeah, Delabole, Tintagel, you know, they're beautiful little places. St. Isaac's, yeah, it's still a nice little place, but it's a little bit more commercial now. One, because of Doc, what's his face, Martin Clumes. That fucking camera's gone again. Look. Might be where it's getting warm. And out that way as well, obviously, filming of First Night. Was it First Night? One of the two. Oh, I don't know why that camera's going doo-dally. It might be getting hot. There we go. Full of the sword from the stone. If you go to the Camelot Hotel, I don't know whether they've still got it, Gary. We didn't stay there, but we drove up to visit it because obviously with Heather's disability, she couldn't walk down the old way to get up to the Tintagel Castle. There wasn't the new bridge there then. It was like a 3/4 of a mile walk from the village, and then you had to go down the rocks and back up. So I took her up to the car park up there, asked if we could just hang around for a bit so we could see it. And they've actually got a sword in the stone out the front in the porchway. We did have some pictures of it somewhere.
Yeah, I've got them upstairs.
Yeah, Arthur didn't exist, Jen. And as I said, Tintagel Castle was a rich landowner in Elite back then who built it for his own protection, I would presume, because it was hard to get to, hard to access. But again, the legends are all around Delabole and the slate quarries and the caves, and it's the same as a lot of the Cornish smuggling and what have you. A lot of it is legend that's been changed over the years. I mean, obviously, the famous pub connected with Long John Silver. Well, that's actually God knows how many miles inland out on Bodmin Moor, more or less. So it would have been probably 2 days' walk from the coast. Yes, there was a lot of smuggling went on down there, but it wasn't as prolific as a lot of legend makes out.
You can't have tourist attractions without legends.
He existed, but not as a king. Motor warlords. Well, I don't believe there is any writings mentioning anybody called Arthur. Not as far as I can remember, anyway. I mean, there was the film, they reckon, the legend where Arthur was actually a Roman soldier. But I believe that was one that was born through films more than anything.
There are all sorts of stories.
Yeah, there may have one that originally led the Brits, or what was it they called them back then? The Anglos or whatever it was. The Angles.
And the Britons.
There may have been one then. But back then they had, what can you call them? Tribe leaders rather than a king.
Each tribe had its own king.
They were more like counties than countries. Right, well, I am going to call it, guys. I'm definitely not going to make it till 10 o'clock again tonight. But Glastonbury Abbey was a headstone to King Arthur and Guinevere. Yeah, a lot of it now has been turned into tourist attraction, Jen, and that's when legends get changed. Evening, Lodger. I'm just about to shut down.
But it's like everything. There's so many places claim they've got this, that, or the other. How many places have got the Holy Grail?
Yeah, it's reportedly to be holed up in a wall in a little chapel in Scotland. There's supposed to have been one down in Cornwall, another one in Devon. But no, I'm gonna call it there for tonight, folks. I mean, if I'd have had a bit more sleep last night, I might have been a bit more awake. But I'm gonna take a couple of painkillers and head off to the sack for the night. See if I can get a good night's sleep. Sorry, Lodger. Rosalind, that's the one, mate. Yeah, thank you. I knew that there was one up there. I remember seeing a documentary on it a couple of years back. See, my memory, I can remember that. But yeah, Mrs. W, I'll take it you're going to do your live Friday as usual?
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, she's saying yes. But thank you ever so much, everybody, for dropping in today. As I said, I've been really busy this week, and you all know how that tires me out. Once I can get this week out of the way, I shouldn't be too bad. I can start getting it. And I haven't got another hospital appointment unless something bad happens until October now. So that's another weight off my shoulders unless I get any bad symptoms. But I have got to sort out with the doctors about getting me breathing sorted, especially now I've stopped smoking. And whether you've noticed or not, I'm not vaping anymore either. We're totally away. Well, I am totally away from all that now. And it's made me feel worse. Sore throat, croaky voice. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate you all following the little channel here and supporting it and watching my videos and my rants. I do them for you as well as for a bit of sanity for myself. But your support is appreciated. And that is all I ever ask for, is your support. I never ask for anything else. No, it's not clearing, Gary, and that's the problem. My breathing's getting worse. And when I walk up the town or walk up to the hospital, then it's actually painful. Thank you, Lodger. Appreciate that, mate. But as always, guys, until I may do a video tomorrow. Actually, I've got enough notes scattered about. It's just if I can get my shit together to do one, but I'll definitely do one Friday if not. So until the next time, I've gone all fuzzy again. That's another issue tonight I've got to look at. As I say, stay safe, stay strong, and stay free. So it's good night from me, and
It's good night from me, and thank you for subbing, Roger.
take care, everybody. Stay safe out there.